Hi everyone, and welcome back to another video. I'm really excited to do some more art with you today, and this one is a particular favourite of mine because I love going outdoors and I love being outside, so I'm going to really enjoy collaging with some of the things that I found around my house and in my garden with you today. So we're going to have a quick look at what we're going to be making today, some of the different things that you might need, and then we can get started with today's activity. Let's have a look. So we are going to be doing seasonal collage, as I mentioned yesterday. And when I made this, the season was autumn, but we're very lucky that whenever you're watching this, you should be able to get hold of some leaves and different natural objects outside. So even if yours aren't quite as brown and crispy as mine are on this lovely autumn day, then that's absolutely fine. You can see in some of the pictures, they've used some greener and more yellowy leaves as well. So you might have found some of those. So what you're going to need for today is a collection of different items from outdoors. You might have leaves, grass, acorns, pine cones, fir cones, anything like that, sticks, twigs. You're going to need some plain paper again. I won't read through that bit for you. You might use some glue, okay, but you don't have to. Again, you've probably learnt what transient art means by now, so I'm not going to go through it again, but don't panic if you haven't got any glue. And maybe a pen or a pencil. Maybe we'll do some labelling of our work together at the end. So I'll give you a chance now to pause and go and get any of the bits that you need, and I look forward to seeing you when you get back. Okay, hopefully you've had a chance to get all your bits together now. I'll show you some of the bits I found. So there's not loads of trees outside my house and near my garden, so I mainly just managed to get leaves and twigs, but not many acorns or fir cones, which I was a bit upset about because I did want to try and get some of those, but we'll make the best with what we've got. So I've got lots of little sticks and twigs and things like that. There were loads of these around my house. I think these will be really good for arms and legs because we're going to make some leaf people today. I also managed to get lots of different leaves. I've got a few different colours. This one's a bit greener. They've all started to curl up now because of the time of year it is. There we go, this one. It's a bit greener. I've got some other shaped leaves, some smaller ones. And then this one you can see is already turning a bit more of an orange colour. You might notice lots of the changes in the season. And this one's sort of a green still, whereas this one has already started to turn a bit more of an orangey brown colour. So that's what I'm going to be using for my leaf man today, and you might have some more exciting bits that you can add on to him as well. So I've got my plain paper out on the table in front of me, and I'm going to tilt the camera down now so that we can work through this together and you can watch me. You can pause if you want to as we go through, or you're more than welcome to watch it all the way through and then adapt it and have a go however you'd like to do it. So, are we ready? I'm going to have my paper this way up, I think, for today, because that will help me get in all the bits of my leaf man's body. So first of all, I need something for his head. And I think, I actually think this little one will be quite good for his head, because it's quite small. And I'm going to stick mine down just because then it's easier for me to hold it up and show you at the end. I'm going to put the glue on. I'm going to stick his head on. There we go. It's all right if the leaves break a little bit. That's what they do this time of year, isn't it? And then luckily he's already got a little bit that can maybe be his neck. Don't worry if they don't stick down that well, because they're not used to being used for art necessarily and things like that, so they might not be the stickiest. So next I need a part for his body, and this leaf is quite big, so I think this one will act well as being sort of a body for him. Down a bit more, make sure you can see. So I'm going to put some glue on my paper for his body. I'm going to try and sort of do it in the shape of the leaf, so it's a bit easier to stick it on. Okay. Try and make sure it reaches his neck, it's attached to his neck. It might not stick very well. Maybe let's try some of my PVA glue, see if that works a bit better. There we go. It's a bit stickier. Might just hold that in place for a minute. I always think it's fun doing art with these sorts of things. It's a bit different because we get to use paint and pencils and things for drawing, and we use normal like tissue paper and things quite a lot of the time when we're at school. So I always think it's a bit exciting and a bit different when we get to use things like this to collage with, because we're not quite so used to doing that. There we go. Right, I need some sticks next for his arms and his legs, and that's probably a little bit long for his leg, so I'm going to break it in half into 2 bits, and then that's probably better for his legs. I'm going to put some glue down where I want his legs to go. Oh, quite hot. It's even though it's autumn, it's a sunny day here today, and the sun is shining through my window. There we go. There's his leg. Might need some PVA glue for that one. That one's not sticking down very well. There we go. There's his other leg. Give that bit of time to stick. Now, if he's going to have legs, he obviously needs some arms. Exactly. So let me find a twig that's going to act quite well as an arm. I think these will be quite good as arms. So let's just make it a little bit shorter. I think his arms should be a tiny bit shorter than his legs. And a bit shorter still. You'll notice that mine's still moving around as I'm doing it, so don't worry if yours does as well. I'll take a bit of time after I'm finished to stick it down properly. Put some glue down for his arms. There's one, and I've dropped the other one on the floor. It wouldn't be one of Miss Bobham's art videos without her dropping something on the floor. At least I've been consistent about that. There we go. So he's got some little arms, and then I quite fancy giving him some eyes maybe as well. So for his eyes, I'm just going to break off some tiny little bits of twig, 2 small bits, like so. And then I'm going to do 2 little blobs of glue on there. You can have 2 little eyes. There's a little eye there and a little eye there. Right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause my video and give you a chance to pause as well. It's going to give me a chance to make sure that mine is dry and ready for us to have a look at and write some labels for, and it will give you a chance to get a little bit creative and use whatever you've got to make your leaf man as well. So I'm going to give it a little moment now for mine to dry. You give it a pause, and I'll see you when you're done. Okay, right, after putting some rather weighty objects down on my leaf man, here's a good tip. I put my water bottle and made it sit on mine to try and stick it down a little bit more. My leaf man, I think, is finally finished and ready for me to share with you. So here he is, with his head, his eyes, his body, his arms and his legs in all his glory. So hopefully yours is done by now, whether yours looks similar to mine or you've been creative and imaginative and you might have gone for something slightly different. But he's probably going to have some similar body parts. So let's see if we can label a couple of those now together. So here we go. Right, now, so we're going to do 2 nice easy ones I thought we could do together. And that is going to be to label his arms and to label his legs. And in order to do that, I'm going to need a pen or a pencil, which in true Blue Peter style, I should have already had prepared earlier. but it would appear that the cat has stolen it. And it has now been safely returned. Thank goodness for that. Right, so let's do his legs first, because that's a nice easy one to sound out. Leg is a CBC word that we can use our phase 2 phonics for, so that should be nice and easy. So let's have a go at doing legs together. Your stick man might have some legs. So we need an to not get too big. Just fit, legs, legs, legs. And then I might want to do a little arrow to point to where his legs are. The other one that we can have a go at doing is arms. Now for arms, we're going to need the same digraph that we needed when we wrote card in our session on Monday. It was that AR digraph. So we need R, and then, because he hasn't just got one arm, he's got 2 arms. There we go. I don't know if you can see that hiding behind the leaf. I've not written it overly straight either. So that's a problem. Right, and he's got some arms as well, and you might do a little arrow. You could also add things like head and body, or you could even write leaf man or give him a name. So I'm going to give you a little second now to see if you can work with your grown-up at home, or you might be working on your own, in which case you can try and have a little think of your phonics that you did at school and see if you can do head or body, or maybe even you want to give your leaf man a name. See if you can have a go now quickly. So mine is all finished now, and hopefully yours is too. And I have gone for Sid, the leaf man. I think mine, I thought he looked like a Sid, and that was easy for me to spell as well. So I've gone for Sid, the leaf man, which you can see I've written at the top. Sid, tricky word, Sid, the leaf man. And I've also labelled his head, and I've labelled his body, and hopefully you were able to add some labels to your leaf man as well. So he's going to be able to be displayed nicely behind me with my cupcake and my flower that I made as well. Here we go. And then tomorrow we're going to do a bit more free collage. So with things like tissue paper, pom-poms, you might have some sequins, some glitter, you might have buttons, you might have lolly sticks, food wrappers. We're going to see what exciting things we can find tomorrow and do a bit of free collage where you can use some of the skills you've learned this week and use them to have a go at making something different that we've not made yet. So I hope you enjoyed our session today, and me and Sid look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Bye.